Oh, it's all right. Thanks, Steph. There you go. Even in my early 20s, I used to come up to northern New South Wales and I always felt it was a place I really resonated with. I started to have this feeling that the world was getting more unsettled, so I really wanted to just be out away from the cities and growing my own food. It's always given me a sense of independence and empowerment. So it's very much a spiritual journey, actually. At that time as well, I started to have dreams, the mountains up here, the green rolling hills. I knew I was wanting to head to northern New South Wales, but I didn't know exactly where. And I did receive in a dream the word Telgum, and I've just followed the inner guidance. And my younger daughter's still with me. Her and I just packed a tent in a suitcase and we drove from Kyogle all the way up to the Gold Coast and inland everywhere. And every time we drove in through this area, I felt this sense of this is the place. The first thing I did was establish water and irrigation systems. So I put the dams in, I put in a solar pump which pumps the water up to a header tank at the very top of the property, and then I've got 12 tap outlets now and gravity feeds through the property. And that was partly prompted by my idea of, or burning desire to have a fruit orchard. Apart from anything, I just love growing trees. I love growing anything, I love growing stuff. So I say to people, I've raised in the veggie garden. My father has a green thumb. All my adult life, regardless of where I've lived, I've always grown plants. House plants, vegetable garden, cottage gardens especially, culinary herbs, medicinal herbs. I just enjoy growing things, so I can't help myself. The ethos of respect and sacredness to me also overflows into the way we care for the animals here. You know, even when I'm doing vegetable gardening, there's a connection to the plants and kind of an inner dialogue for me that goes along to the spirit of that garden. Establishing a small heritage poultry business here, but for me all the animals, they're not just numbers, they all have personalities, and the welfare of the animals is very important, and that they have a high quality of life. All my birds are free ranging and they'll have coops that are kept very clean and well ventilated, insulated. And the dynamics and the politics on the farm is always, an interesting thing to manage, make sure everyone's happy. And I didn't realise how much I would love the poultry, especially the geese. I truly believe that if you approach a place, any place, especially a place that's been sanctified or identified as sacred, if you approach those places, whether they're temples or the land itself, with a sense of reverence and respect and humility, you kind of enter into an inner sanctum in that place. And so you will find the place opening up to you and speaking to you and embracing you as much as you're receiving from it. I really feel that here actually. People say, oh, do you feel alone out here? And I'm like, I never feel alone. I feel like I wake up in the morning and the mountains embrace me. And I've had lots of quite mystical experiences with the ancient keepers of the land here, the spiritual beings. The ultimate goal is really to have retreats here and to really have this space for people to come for contemplation, meditation, workshops, and people can come and rest, be at peace with themselves and connect with spirit, connect with the land and just de-stress. It just washes off you here. When you then intentionally run a group or you run a meditation or you gather and you sit around a fire and you play drums, it's a good reset for people. It's a good way for them to reconnect and with their own self. I've listed my property under Hipcamp as Sacred Earth Farm, so you can book online. It's not officially a campsite, it's camping on private land.
People, when they come here, they probably like being in a quiet area and being kind of secluded, what they mainly come for.
Part of the vision is to have, it be a place of creativity as well. And I really think that artists are undervalued in our culture generally, and that we need to value our own selves as creative beings. I only say that because I've had my own journey with art. I did do about 8 years of private tuition in classical oil painting and absolutely love it. And I've also at the same time with my metaphysics training and through mediumship been drawing a whole series of spiritual paintings of ancient beings of the land here, and that's been really interesting to see what's coming forth. And I hope at some stage to build a studio of sorts where I can house sacred art. It's a holistic approach to living, creative holistic approach, you know, connecting with the land, connect with yourself, create, express yourself. Yeah. I'm Benita, yeah, mother of 2 children, the farmer, caretaker, mother goose, and yeah, I'm an artist. Person having a go out on the land.